Heluhelu Kākou.
Hey, how's it? I'm Sean. I'm an actor, composer, and writer. And I'm here in my living room in Kaka'ako, Oahu. And I'm going to read to you a story from this book, Hawaiʻi Island Legends, edited by Marika Venapukui, retold by Caroline Curtis, and illustrated by Don Robinson. And I'm going to read a story set in East Hawaiʻi Island because I love Hilo. When I was small, I would go with my grandma to Hilo, to my Uncle David's house every summer, and we would just have a great time. And I love Hilo because it makes me think of my ohana. I love its quiet, its rain, the greenery. So this is a story of how Hawaii was made safe. Heluhelu Kākou. Hi'iaka was Pele's youngest sister. She was beautiful and brave, and Pele loved her dearly. But Hi'iaka was very different from Pele. The goddess of the volcano liked to destroy, but Hi'iaka loved people and wanted to help them. She had young women companions from whom she learned to dance the hula and make lei. From them, she heard the dangers that threatened people on the island of Hawaii. She heard of giant mo'o, of man-eating sharks, of evil spirits, and of a terrible whirlwind that destroyed the homes and gardens of men. I shall go on a journey, Hi'iaka said. I shall travel around the island of Hawaii and destroy these evil beings. I shall make Hawaii a safe home for people. Who will come with me? Her sisters and brothers did not answer. I need a traveling companion, Hi'iaka said. Come with me, or I shall have no one to talk with but my shadow. Still, the brothers and sisters did not answer. As for Pele, she was stirring the fire in her pit and gave no thought to Hi'iaka's words. Are you afraid? Hi'iaka asked the others. Are you afraid to journey around your island of Hawaii? There are many dangers, one sister said. What are you? Hi'iaka asked. Are you gods and goddesses or timid people? We have no power against the evil beings who rule Hawaii. You also have no power against them. They will kill you, Hi'iaka. Pele will give me power, the young goddess said. Oh, Pele, she cried, great goddess of the volcano, give power to Hi'iaka. Give power to your dearly loved sister. I go to greet the Great Maul and spirits that live in the forest, fierce sharks that live in the bays, the whirlwind that lives in the valley, destroying all in its path. Oh, Pele, I ask you for power. Give me power to end all these evils. Suddenly, Pele turned from her fire pit. I have heard your prayer, O Hi'iaka, she said. This pa'u has the power of lightning. Take it. And in your hour of need, call for the help of the wind and storm. They will answer. Now go. Alone? Asked Hi'iaka again. It is no fun to talk to my shadow. It doesn't answer. Then Pele called her own serving woman. Go with my sister, she commanded, and turned again to tend her fires. The two journeyed. Hi'iaka sang with joy as they walked under lehua trees, covered with blossoms. Then she was quiet, watching the birds gathering nectar from the blossoms. Suddenly, the serving woman whispered, "I hear the grunt of a pig. What is it? The pig of the land or a pig of the sea?" "Both," laughed Hi'iaka softly. "You hear the grunt of a pig of the land and also the grunt of a pigfish. Someone is taking an offering to Pele." A moment later, a young woman appeared. She was carrying a striped pigfish and a small struggling black pig. "Greeting to you, woman in green," Hi'iaka said. The young woman gazed at her, wondering at her beauty. "Who are you?" she asked in a low voice. "Oh, beautiful one, who are you? And where are you going?" Hi'iaka answered the second question. "We go on a long, hard journey. We go through a dangerous forest, beyond the waters of Hilo, over the cliffs, and beside the sea until we reach Kohala." There was love in the eyes of the young woman as she said, "Let me go with you on that long, hard journey." "Your offering is for Pele," Hi'iaka answered. "First, take it to the fire pit, then return and journey with us." Wonder and love had grown in the eyes of the woman as she looked and listened. "You yourself are Pele," she whispered as she fell on her face before Hi'iaka. "O beautiful goddess, accept my offering." "No, I am not Pele. She lives above in the fire pit. Go to her there, but make no mistake. You will see tall and beautiful women. Those are sisters and servants of Pele. Look for an old woman. Look for one lying on mats close to the fire. You will find her well wrapped in kapa and stirring the fire with her long stick. Give your offering to her and to no one else, for that old woman is Pele. Go quickly." But the woman did not go. "My offering is for Pele," she said. "But you, O beautiful goddess, for you I have great love. If I leave you, I shall never find you again." "I promise that my companion and I will wait for you," Hi'iaka told her. "You will find us here among the lehua. Go." So, woman in green went to the fire pit, and after leaving her offering, returned to the lehua trees, ready to journey with Hi'iaka. The three went on all day, wading streams and climbing the steep side of valleys. Then sun set. "Let us find some house where we can spend the night," the serving woman said. "No," Hi'iaka answered. "Travelers must sleep in the open." So each wrapped herself in her kapa and slept under the trees. Hi'iaka was awake at dawn. "Listen," she whispered. "Voices." As the light grew, the voices came nearer. Soon the three saw a company of girls who had come from a nearby village. They were gathering lehua blossoms and making lei. One girl ran to Hi'iaka. "Friendship to you," she cried as she threw a lei about Hi'iaka's shoulders. All the girls crowded around the three travelers and made them welcome. "Come home with us and eat," they said. It was pleasant to rest, to eat good food, and to enjoy song and hula. But Hi'iaka was eager to journey farther. "We are travelers through Puna," she said. "Tell us about the trail." "Take this trail," the girls answered, pointing to a well-worn path that led to the edge of the sea. "The sun is hot on that trail," Hi'iaka said, "and the way is long. We love the shade of the forest. Is there no forest path?" "Oh no," the girls told her. "You must go by the edge of the sea." "There must be a path through the forest," Hi'iaka insisted. "Long ago, there was a forest trail," One girl answered, speaking in a whisper. But no longer do we travel through the forest, for there is great danger. What danger? Hi'iaka asked. Shall we trip on vines or fallen logs? Must we wade rocky streams? This beautiful forest belongs to Panaewa, the Great Maul. The girls looked anxiously toward the forest, and their voices were full of fear. If anyone dares to enter, the servants of the Great Maul make ready his imu. Fog gathers about that unlucky one. As he wanders, lost, he is attacked by wind and icy rain. He's struck by a falling branch or tripped by a twisting vine, so that he falls over the cliff. Never again will he see the sunlight. The Great Maul, Hi'iaka cried. I am here to conquer him. Come, my companions, let us take the forest path. Her companions felt the courage of the young goddess. They knew that she was protected by the power of Pele. The forest path, they cried. The company of girls who had been happy, so happy a few moments before, were all weeping now. Do not go, they begged. You are too beautiful to be cooked in the imu of the Great Maul. And they tried to hold Hi'iaka back. Laughing, she broke from them, and the three entered the forest of the Maul. Hi'iaka entered the forest fearlessly, but she knew there was danger. She watched every tree and stump. She listened to every sound. The trail was very old and dim. The girls tripped over vines. They climbed over logs and waded streams. Always they watched. Darkness fell. Lie here and sleep, for you are weary, Hi'iaka said. I shall stay awake. Through the long night, the young goddess watched and listened. The darkness was deep about them, and the night was very still. Danger must be all around, but Hi'iaka could neither see nor hear it. In the faint light of dawn, the young goddess watched and listened. And she saw a little bird high among the trees. It was gathering nectar from the lehua blossoms. "O little bird," she said under her breath, "are you a messenger sent by the Great Maul? You gather nectar from the blossoms. Are you telling me to drink ava and sleep?" The bird flew away. It must have carried its message to the giant mole, for suddenly Hi'iaka heard a terrible voice chanting through the forest. "Food! Here is food. Make ready the imu." Hi'iaka's companions sprang up from their sleep. "That voice," they whispered, "that terrible voice." "A terrible voice," Hi'iaka repeated, and her words rang bravely through the forest. "But it is only a voice." Her shout was like a signal for attack. Fog came from every side, seeking to choke the three with its cold fingers, blinding them and wrapping them in shoulder capes of mist. "Keep close behind me," Hi'iaka called to her companions. "We must not lose each other." And she drove back the fog with the sacred pa'u of Pele. Then came cold rain and bitter wind. Branches fell about the three and vines twisted around their feet. Hundreds of little forest birds came screaming and dashing themselves against Hi'iaka and her companions. But the goddess whirled her wonderful pa'u and drove her enemy deeper into the forest. For a moment, she could rest. As she rested, she shouted a chant to her enemy. "O Panaewa, bitter is the storm. Branches rattle about us. Leaves and flowers are falling. This is the growl of the mo'o. The mo'o stirred by his anger. Oh, Pana Eva, I strike you. I strike you with my wonderful, powerful pa'u. Pana Eva heard her shout and sent his mo'o army. Here's the only picture in the story. Here's the mo'o. And Hi'iaka with the pa'u. Look at that beautiful picture. So the mo'o army are coming. They're coming. They dash through the forest, leaping from rocks, hiding behind bushes, then jumping out with open mouths and gleaming teeth. But Hi'iaka whirled her sacred pa'u. She struck at the mo'o army, killing and wounding. Fearlessly, her companions fought on either side. There was snapping of jaws and swinging of blows until darkness fell. Night came at last. All about lay the bodies of dead mo'o. Silence came after the roar of battle. Sleep, the serving woman told Hi'iaka. Tonight you must rest, and I shall watch. And Hi'iaka slept. Messenger birds went to the giant mo'o. What news? He asked them. My imu is hot. Where are these women that I may cook and feast? The women sleep, the messengers answered. But our companions sleep in death. Those who went forth to fight lie dead, all except a few who took the form of trees. The giant mo'o was angry. He called all his servants who still lived, and this time gave his orders in secret. Each mo'o was to take the form of a tree or a bush. They were to surround the sleeping women and crush them with their power. But the serving woman did not sleep. At dawn, there was no roaring voice, but a low murmur through the forest. It seemed to come from every side. It seemed as if a light morning wind stirred the treetops. But there was evil in the sound. The serving woman shouted a prayer. O clouds, pour down your rain. Let your lightning flame, your thunders crash. O Pele, great Pele, show your power. Send forth your voice like a war drum. Pele heard and sent her storm clouds to help Hi'iaka. The giant mo'o and his servants came in the form of trees and bushes until they surrounded the women. Soon, these trees and bushes felt vines climbing over them and holding them so that they could neither move nor strike. Then they heard a mighty war call. It was as if the wind itself blew a giant shell trumpet. This was followed by booming as of a mighty war drum. Suddenly, all the forces of Pele were let loose. Lightning flashed from the clouds, thunder roared, and rain and hail fell until a great flood poured through the forest. The mo'o trees were uprooted and carried to the sea. The forest was swept clean of evil. Only a few twisted forms at the edge of the sea were left to remind the people of the evil that had once been there. Hi'iaka looked over the wind-swept, rain-swept woodland. She was thankful that she had won her first great battle. This forest is safe now, she said. Let us go on our way. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you tell your own stories with and to your families. Until next time, Heluhelu Kākou.